Thank you, Sons of Italy. Thank you so much for the super chat or super sticker, whatever it is. We got super stickers. We got super chats, Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App. We're going to have a show today. We're going to see what's going on. There's some stuff going on around here. Ripper, are you back? Are you coming in under different names? We're going to smoke you out, Ripper. Bust your ass again. Plant that flag in your ass. What's going on in the rubber room? Jim Terry says nothing. I'm thinking it's got a little something to do with this guy, though. But we'll get into it. And then we'll talk about these fucking NFL playoffs. All right, let me say what's up to everybody real quick. Well, as a matter of fact, Ripper, if you're hiding, bring your ass out.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Stop hiding. Stop hiding, Ripper. Anyway, let me say what's up to everybody. We're going to get into what's possibly going on in the rubber room. Because I'll explain it to you. What's up, Stevie? Good to see you. Yes, everybody, please hit that like button on your way in or on your way out, whatever you want to decide to do. If you don't decide to hit it, you don't decide to hit it. 42 in here so far. This can't be wrong. Good to see you, hon. Joey Perry, what's up? Good to see you. Crazy Brat, good to see you. Excuse me on the tier. Let's grow. We are here. Okay, good to see you. Honey B, good to see you. I ain't seen you in a while. Dave, my man, what's up? Good to see you. Snake, good to see you. Yeah, that was horrible, man. You got these idiots fucking saying, "Oh, it's Lamar Jackson." They put you in position to win the fucking game. This happens every fucking year. It's just look. You ask Roy Cohn fan. He texted me after they on that fourth and whatever when they wound up getting it simple. Man, fucking Jim Ferry could have kicked that field goal. Fucking look, they got them into once they got down in the field goal range. Roy Cohn fan texted me, "Congratulations." I said, "Nah, don't say that yet. I don't trust this kid." Boom, what happened? You know what I mean? Justin Tucker. Now Justin Tucker, we got rid of him for going to massage parlors or whatever. If we'd have kept him, I guarantee you we would have had a happy ending. Guarantee you that. But it is what it is. Harbaugh's got to go. Sons of Italy, thank you again and good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Chalet, yeah, there'll be no shitting in the corner. Yeah, of course. If you people believe that, I got a bridge to sell you. But anyway. What's up, Woodchuck Chuck? Good to see you. Ripper don't come on this shit. Ripper ain't getting no link on this shit. Listen, the Ripper don't want that. The Ripper will get abused. Everybody's seen the last time I abused the Ripper. He's a nobody. But he's creeping around. He can't go away. What's up, Darren? Good to see you. Danny Green, what's going on, my man? What's good with you? Good to see you. Marta Fowler, good to see you. Sienna Morano, good to see you. Mike Honcho, yeah, we can get started now that you're here. Yeah, Lamar definitely did his job. I mean, come on. And then fucking goddamn, our defense sucks. Just terrible, 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 terrible. Harvick, good to see you. They fucking suck. I'm not going to lie. That fucking defense sucks. But anyway, so, as everybody knows, there's some shit that's been going on in the rubber room. They haven't been on in a while. Now, I will say this. The baby, I do believe, was sick. So what I do, what's up, Bambi? Good to see you. Joe Root, good to see you. So what I do is I start figuring something out. The last show where this guy was on, okay? We always know he's behind the scenes causing trouble. He's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. But anyway, you know, Iron Cheek humbled his ass. But, so I text Jim. I say, hey, what the fuck's going on in the rubber room? So now he calls. He said, oh, nothing's going on. Blah, blah, blah. It's not this guy. Because I don't want to say his name because he'll strike the channel. He says, oh, it's not that guy. You know, I was supposed to do the show Wednesday or whatever. All this stuff is rumors, everything like that. Really? Now, he did say this. He said, the baby's got better, but now Angel's really sick. Now, I can believe some truth to that. Because I'm sick as hell right now. And something has been going around. So if she really is really, he's, you know, he exaggerates shit. She's really sick, blah, blah, blah. It's really bad and all that. You know, now, if that is true, you know, my wishes are with her to get better. You know what I mean? Take your ass to the doctors. You know what I'm saying? Or something, because something is going around. But I don't believe that all the way. I believe there might be some truth to it, but I don't believe that. There's been little things. I seen that Tony Lilo, I don't want to use his name either, but he don't strike channels. You know who I'm talking about. Tony left a comment a while back under Angel's post. Thank you so much, Bambi. Thank you so much for the donation. Thank you so much. Happy Tuesday to you too. So I seen a little comment Silo left. And Silo said, good luck to you, Angel, in the future with what you do. So I'm like, hold up. Why, if you're the co-host, are you wishing somebody good luck for whatever they decide to do? Then turn around. What's up, Carlos, my man? Good to see you. Then turn around and hang on. Okay. So that was the first one. Then they turn around and somebody put up a thing that, you know, something's going on. Now, if you're the co-host, why are you wishing somebody good luck on their future or whatever? Oh, and then the well-known blowjob. The well-known blowjob all of a sudden dipped out. He's just back to trolling. Let me tell you something, well-known blowjob. If you weren't such a dickhead, I could have helped you. Because if you go check my library, my pre-recordeds and shit like that, look at the views. I know the reason why you weren't getting the right amount of views without promoting. I know the reason. It was your titles. Let me give you a hint. You do an interview with Rita Gigante. Nobody knows who the fuck Rita Gigante is. So here's what you did wrong. You're like, Rita Gigante is here. And that's all that people see as they're scrolling through. What you're supposed to do is title your shit like this. Mob boss Vincent Gigante, daughter Rita Gigante, come through. So all the people see is mob boss Vincent Gigante. And you would get a ton more views. That's just one hint. You know what I mean? Hey, what's up, Charlie? Good to see you on. Oh, your head's hurting? Yeah, I've had a fucking terrible headache. That's what's going around. So that's what happened to you. You don't know what you're doing, well-known homo. And also this. You can't do a stream. You can't do this, especially pre-recorded and interviews with people behind an avatar. I know you don't want to come out. What's up, Carmela? I know you don't want to come out from behind the avatar. But if you're not going to come out from behind the avatar, it's better that you did what you did. Just packed it up, packed it in. You can't do it. Fuck wants to see. Nobody knows who's who. You're sitting there behind an avatar. No, you know what I mean? Come on. Otherwise, I will say this. Otherwise, you did pretty well. I'm not going to lie. You did pretty well. You had the right idea. You were trying to do the right things. You were getting decent people, and you could do a decent interview if you pump your oxygen up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you got to do. The titles is very important. The titles is very important. Like anybody can tell you that. But anyway, so you got the silo situation, then you got that. Then I picked up on something else. The other day, the Nona was advertising Crab Leg Friday, as she does. But she didn't actually, she shared Texas Granny's post. Now, all of a sudden, she took it down. It's no longer, you can no longer see it. Now, I don't know if Texas Granny took it down or the Nona, but it's no longer advertised on the Nona's channel. What's really going on? Most people use avatars because JT makes it. That ain't about JT. This was before JT was using an avatar. People need to protect themselves for the families. Don't get weird effed up phone calls from a psychic. Yeah, I understand that. But my point is this. You can't come out. You can't do it like that. It doesn't even work. It just doesn't. What's up, Philly Mike? Good to see you, my man. It really doesn't work. You can't be behind an avatar doing fucking interviews. Like, what the fuck? You know, what is this, a video game? No. But, and then the titles. The titles are important. Like, okay, the Sopranos guy or whatever. He should have put in star of Sopranos. And then it's the gay guy or whatever. The Sprat Frat, you know, one of them guys. But that's what, when people are scrolling through, that's what you don't put that, you don't put these people's names who aren't, you know, nobody knows. Like, everybody knows the Sopranos, but you couldn't see that unless you click all the way on it and go all the way through. The Rita Giganti, nobody knows who the fuck Rita Giganti is. Nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, like, but a person scrolling through sees Mob Boss. It's like, holy shit. So then they'll click on it. Then they find that. Then they might, it's a good interview. They might be interested. And then now, bam, they subscribe and you get the views and stuff like that. So, you know, you need to understand what you're doing. And like I said, you can't do it from behind an avatar. So if you're not willing to do that, show your face and stop being a troll, you ain't going to be able to do it. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. That's the way it is. But yeah, so, hey, what's up, Ties and Tears? Yeah, I hope you had an amazing holiday too. So Jim is saying that Angel's really sick. And that's why. And like I said, if she is, you know, I mean, I hope she gets well. I really do. This shit is fucking going around. Definitely. But listen, I don't totally believe that. I'm sorry. I just don't. There's something going on behind the scenes there. And I think she's getting a little fed up with certain things. What'd you say, Carlos? Mickey Rourke accused a few of attacking the baby and bad wishing on her family, but Jim Ferry did it on Sloth Channel. She has to save face. Oh, who attacked the baby? I don't think nobody attacked the baby. Who the fuck would do that? That's sick. That's a child, a little child, man. That's sick. Yeah, fuck no. I don't think nobody. I've never heard nobody attack the baby. You talking about little baby Emma? Hell no. Hell no. Who the fuck would do that? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Now you say Jim did it on the Sloth Channel. Which sloth? The sloth or the gay sloth? Jim said the baby had a blood disease. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't know how she took that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I didn't say no shit like that. Jesus Christ. I'd be fucking. I'd be headed to prison for 20 years for something like that. But I wouldn't say nothing like that. That's goofy. You know what I mean? That's some goofy shit. It's a little kid. Little kid got the flu or something. That's all. The little kid's immune system is very strong. When you say, Bambi, you attack people's parenting, you feel bad for the kids having parents like you type stuff. JT called YouTube stuff. That's what you meant. JT called your kid. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she said she had some type of, yeah. And then that idiot. Oh, the disease means this, and it means that, and if the blood is this, right? Shut your fat ass up. Shut your fat ass up. You fucking stinky neck, fucking, you know, whatever. Old stinky neck. Oh, they got you on the phone and then you had to tear them up? Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know about that. I didn't know. Hey, Raditha. Good to see you on. Yeah, I agree, Carmela. Nobody at all should be talking about it. Unless you're wishing the baby well. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants this. Look, you got to be a special type of sick. Look, seriously, a special type of sick. I don't care how bad I hate somebody. I don't care how bad. If the failure was able to produce a child or a grandchild or something like that, you know, no, I would never wish bad on the baby. Never. And I hate that motherfucker. Like, worse, believe me. No, you don't do that. I'm going to tell you something right now. A lot of these people in here, you're going to think I'm nuts. They're satanic. They're actually satanic. Yes, they are. And I'm not trying to sound like Uncle Edwin or anything like that, but he's right on a lot of shit, like he says, you know, and he don't direct it towards people, whatever. But listen, a lot of people in here are actually satanic. You have to be satanic. Satanic to wish harm on children and grandchildren and babies and bask in like death. Like, oh, this one died, this one died. Like, I'll tell you this, I've got enemies that I fucking trust me. Trust me, they hated me and I hated them. They're dead. I do not mention them. I would not fucking you know, harass their family. I wouldn't, even to other people who know about all the situations and stuff. No, I don't bring these people up. They're dead. They're gone. Even like a lot of times when people die, truthfully, even in a good way, you're not even supposed to really, you know, everybody's going to bring up memories and stuff, but just to keep bringing them up, that's why it's called rest in peace. Rest in peace. You know, it's satanic. I'm telling you, these people are satanic. That's the truth. That is the truth. If you don't believe that, if you do not believe that, it's going to, it's going to backfire. Everybody talks about that other stuff. Would you say John got his adopted stepdaughter attracts this type of negative by hosting people engaged in this type of behavior? Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe she's not anymore. Who knows? But, yeah, listen, I don't see nobody putting voodoo on children, you know, and actually, yeah, come on. But I do think that shit is satanic. Would you say, Carlos, the voodoo dolls working? I don't know. It could be. I know they worked on that Ripper. And Carmela with that shit. She loves that shit. They definitely worked on the Ripper. I don't know about Harry. Harry couldn't walk and breathe and all that shit anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, like, what are you going to do to him? I like when Satcher did it. Harry all around like he's dancing and shit. Then he put him back in the cup. That was fucking hilarious. But I don't think that that they did anything to Angel with the voodoo. They didn't. I don't think Saccio did. I know he did the Ripper, Jim, Harry. What's that guy? Tommy Crazy or whatever. Fuck, one of the mob humps. You know. Oh, that's another thing. That fucking guy Maduro got arrested or whatever. And everybody's complaining about it. Let me explain something. The man, first off, had a federal indictment for fucking, besides the terrorist shit, big time cocaine and weapons. Okay? Guess what happened when they indicted me for cocaine? They came and locked my ass up. And guess what? If I'd have had a bunch of people around me with guns, they would have killed our ass. That's just the way it is. And now his ass is going to be sitting in MCC or MDC, wherever the fuck he's at. He's in the one in Brooklyn. And he's going to be sitting there for a while. Like a lot of people don't even understand. Just the other day, that was just the initial appearance. You go in there, that's your regular arraignment. It's called an arraignment. You go in and plead not guilty. Now, rearraignment would be when you come in and plead guilty. Now, his whole thing's going to take probably a year and a half, 2 years or whatever. So he's going to go to trial. You know what I mean? He's going to lose. He's going to lose. Him and his wife. Somebody said, I heard somebody say, I think it was Santini. Well, why did they lock his wife up? Why didn't they lock John Gotti's wife up? Listen, drug trafficking is totally different from fucking the mob. Don't get that twisted. Drug trafficking is totally different. If you don't keep your people, your girlfriends, and your wife and all that kind of stuff way away from that shit, they will get indicted. They will get in drug trafficking. They will. I know this. You know, like I told you guys before, like the last time when with my girlfriend, you know, she knew nothing, honestly. And next thing you know, they asked her. They said, "Hey, you know, we want to talk." She said, "Look, all I know is you say my boyfriend's a drug dealer. He says that he's not, and I believe him." And that was the truth. That was the truth. That's it. So you always, if you, and look, yes, they will arrest the entire family for drug conspiracy. You're correct. They don't do that with the mob shit because, like, here's the deal. With drug dealing and stuff like that, we don't have rules. Okay? We don't have rules like, what's up, Mike Slick? Good to see you. We don't have rules like the mob. Okay? Like, where it's like, oh, this one can't be involved. Listen, look, motherfucker will have 20 bricks up in his girl's house. Shit like that. Yeah, definitely. What's up, Rocker? Definitely don't ask Santini to hit the like button at the end of the show. Hey, what's up there, y'all? Good to see you on. Yeah, drug dealing, drug trafficking, and shit like that. We don't have rules. The mob has rules. Yeah, but they're not going to do that. It's not a death penalty case for him. At least not yet. It's not a death penalty case yet. He's going to get about life in prison, you know, whatever it is. What's up, twin mama? Good to see you. So, basically, in the mob and stuff like that, you know, the wives aren't involved. They're not allowed in the social club. None of that kind of shit. So that's the difference. That's the difference. How the hell are you going to expect John Gotti's wife to control him when the federal government can't? Think about it. You know, whatever he does outside the home is what he does outside the home. She's not involved in that. Now, with this situation with this Maduro and his wife, believe me, she's involved. She's involved, or else they wouldn't have indicted her. You know what I mean? Yeah, they ain't going to actually. But this isn't a RICO case. It might turn into a RICO case. This is narco-terrorism, drug trafficking, all that kind of shit, you know, and a lot of cocaine. You know, but like, you know, you got the people complaining and stuff. But the thing is that they will lock us up for that. He's had an indictment since 2020, and then another superseding indictment came down. So they've been waiting, you know, whatever way you look at it, he's screwed. He's screwed. Believe that. What's up, Roy Cole fan? Good to see you. He's definitely screwed. Yeah, they went and killed Escobar. Look, United States is not going to let you do what the hell ever you want. especially flooding stuff into the country, shit like that. And look, is there a little more to it? Of course. Of course. Donald Trump going taking their oil and all that kind of shit. Listen, there's more of that to it too, But they gave him a chance. They gave him a chance to resign and just go on with his life. He didn't take it. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. So, like, with all the stuff, people thinking, oh, get it. No. You see what happened to El Chapo, I mean, I'll tell you what's going on right now. He's sitting up there on that, I think 11 South or whatever it is, up on that tier where he's locked in, 23-1. They're wheeling some shitty food to his fucking slot. He's in there. He don't know how to talk. Well, there might be other people who speak his language and shit in there. But it's rough for him right now. What'd you say, New Orleans? The fentanyl's being made right here? I don't know. I don't know about that. His thing was cocaine. So I'm not sure about the fentanyl stuff and all. But the cocaine will see, what's going to wrap him up is all the enhancements, the drug amounts. He's going to be off the charts. You only got 43 levels. On the federal sentencing guidelines. And with his drug amount, he's already, just his drug amount. If he was a drug dealer here, he's already at level 38. So you only got 5 more levels to go. What do you think all the weapons and all that? That's going to enhance you to 5 levels. By the time he's done, his sentence is going to say life. All the way, category 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. So it doesn't matter. You've never been arrested or nothing like that. All of it is life once you get to level 43. And he's well over 43. And like I say, it's off the charts. So a lot of people don't understand that. They'll get a life sentence. Or, 60 years, something like that if they want to be nice. But, I mean, come on, 60 years, as old as he is, he's done. He's done. And then now they're talking about that guy in Colombia. He's talking a little shit. But I'm going to tell you what's about to happen. It's about to be World War. You're going to see that. You're going to see it. It's coming soon, because Russia and China is going to, now Trump's going to Greenland and all that bullshit. Now, I'm not a politic guy, but you see the writing on the wall, But, fentanyl's cheap. But fentanyl's always been cheap. Why do you think it blasted out? Why do you think they started making the fake 30s? Why do you think they started making them? Because fentanyl is so cheap. It's always been cheap. Yeah, baby, I agree. You can see what's going to happen. Especially with the Greenland thing, because Russia's all up in there and shit like that, I think, and maybe China too. But, it's now they say the international stuff, the kidnapping and stuff, but we've had people do that. Let me tell you a story. I was locked up with a guy. He got a life sentence. I'll tell you why. He was one of them renegade type motherfuckers. He used to be in the military, whatever. So he still worked for the United States. And what he would do is, like, say somebody committed some crazy crimes over here and went somewhere where you can't be extradited. His job was to go over there and kidnap them and bring them back. Well, when he went to kidnap whoever, he got caught. They caught his ass. He wound up telling on the United States. Like, hey, they sent me over here to kidnap. That was considered treason. And the United States gave him life. When the United States took him back and gave his ass life. That's how they do that shit. So all that saying, oh, kidnap, they've been doing that. That's why I laugh when people think. Now, if you got a stupid case, yeah, you can just go to a different state that won't extradite you. But I mean, a serious case, and you can't. Don't ever think that they won't come get your ass. And like Bambi said earlier, look what they did to Pablo Escobar. They didn't even bring him back. They left him dead. They left him dead because he kept taunting them. He came over, took a picture in front of the White House, did all that shit. The thing is, though, Bambi, with a lot of that stuff, when they're shooting down them ships and stuff like that with the cocaine on it, there's cocaine on there. But what a lot of people aren't understanding, that shit it might not be coming to the United States because it's cheap. I mean, it could be, but it's so cheap over here. Like back when like bricks were like 17 over here, which are cheaper now. Back when they were like 17 over here, they were going for like 60 over in fucking Italy. And that's the truth. People would ship them over there. You know what I mean? But you had to have people buy a whole bunch of them, shit like that. Like so your bigger drug dealers, when they sell the shit here, you know, they would send it over. They would send it over to Italy and stuff. So it could be a situation like that. Some of these ships that are getting knocked down and stuff. But I'm gonna tell you now, he's not going to win. He's not going to win, and that just is what it is. I don't care who's out there protesting, none of that shit. He's not going to win. I mean, he's guilty. Yeah, it could be. What's up, Mental Case Barb? Good to see you. Would you say benzos only? Them fucking things. Whew. I've never been a fan of them. Never. I've done them a couple times. You know what I think about them, like Xanax and stuff like that? I actually think it's like getting blackout drunk without the fun leading up to it. You know? You take them fucking things. Well, at least me, when I took them, I couldn't remember nothing, couldn't remember none of that shit. So I've never been a fan of them. A lot of women like them. A lot of women get hooked on them for some reason. I think for anxiety or something. You were in a blacked out for 2 years straight on Xanax. Yeah, them things are crazy. Them things are crazy. What are they? Bars and footballs, stuff like that. I know what they are. People on my way do it. But I've never been a fan of them. That shit's crazy. They're fucking bad. And another thing, you could die coming off of them, just like alcohol. There's two things you could die withdrawing from: alcohol and benzos. That's the only two things you could die withdrawing from. Fentanyl, you won't die. Heroin, you won't die. Cocaine, that's psychological, so obviously you won't die. But those two things are the worst. Those two things are the worst. But them Xannies, man, them fucking things. I remember when motherfuckers, people used to take them and shit. I knew this one dude who used to take them. He'd be all fucked up. I'd be like, what are you in, Zannyland? I used to call it Zannyland. I'd be like, man, what are you in, Zannyland, man? Get the fuck away from me, you know? But, yeah, them things are bad. Them things are bad. And they're easy to get hooked on, I think, you know? I don't know if they're physically addictive or not, but, well, they got to be if it would kill you coming off, right? Got to be, you know? I don't believe in none of that shit. Like, none of that shit. Like giving little kids Adderall and shit. I don't believe in that. That shit, imagine you're 8 years old, 9 years old, and fucking, you got a little bit of energy. Here, take this. Bop, bop, bop. By the time you're fucking 15, your fucking brain is burned. I mean, if I started taking them right now, at my age, by the time I'd be 53 or something, my brain would be burnt the fuck out. So I never agreed with that shit, you know. Now, maybe whatever. But it's all big money. What's up, Twisted T? Good to see you. Yeah, the ADHD thing, I don't believe it. I don't think it's real. Kids are supposed to be hyper. I mean, how come when I was growing up, I never heard of ADHD? I'd have been a prime fucking candidate. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been a prime fucking candidate. But I never heard of it. Now, every other kid has it. But, it could be something new, too, because, like autism and things like that. I had never heard about that, like, growing up. I didn't know what that was. I never knew. What's up, Uncle Edwin? God bless you. What is it, Three Kings Day? Thank you, Uncle Edwin. Yeah, so I had never heard of like autism, First time I heard of that, I was work. Yeah, and that's another thing, baby. It's the a lot of depression and stuff. Would you say you're unmedicated ADHD, and there's a big difference when you're medicated? Take your medicine. No, I don't know. Maybe, listen, maybe you're right. You know, maybe I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, when I grew up, we never heard of that stuff. Never. Never. First time I seen a child with autism, those kids were considered bad or dumb back then. Those kids suffer. I don't know. You know what I mean? You know, you could be right. But like autism, the first time I ever seen, I was working. I just got out of joint or whatever. So I worked for like 3 days at this car. Not 3 days. Maybe a little bit longer. Maybe like 2 weeks at this carpet cleaning joint. Because I had done that in Florida. And then I just wound up starting my own business. Like I was like, I ain't gonna work for nobody. But anyway, so I show up for work, and there was a dude there, and he had his daughter with him. Now his daughter's probably like 12, 13 years old. And like, I was like, hey, how are you? She's just like, she didn't speak or nothing. I was like, I just thought she didn't like me, you know. And then the father told me, she's all autistic. I was like, oh, okay. I still didn't know what it was. And then I asked somebody later, I was like, what do you mean? And then they said, like, you know, the kid. So that's the first time I ever seen that. And that was like 2003, you know. So I never seen that stuff growing up. Never heard of it, never seen it, you know. But now it's, you know, it's like an epidemic. But it's so much stuff that you put in kids nowadays. All these vaccines, all this stuff. And, you know, it is what it is, you know. It affects your sleep, attention, mood, ability to moderate, fatigue, memory, relationships, jobs. I agree. People say hyper equals it, but it's not the case. Yeah, see, I'm talking about lazy parenting. You know, just because your kids got energy and shit, and the doctor will give it to them. These doctors will give it to them. You know, because they're making money. Yeah, honeybee, all of us got different types of brain power, but some of us have no brain power. Look at the rubber room. There's not too much brain power over there, is there? Not too much brain power over there. If it's between Harbaugh and Lamar, Harbaugh's going to be gone. He's going to be gone. They'll figure out Lamar's contract, and Harbaugh will be gone. I mean, Lamar Jackson's be 29 years old in like 2 days. You see, he could still play. Now, I know he was banged up this year. He couldn't run and shit like that, but you don't get – no. Harbaugh's been there, and I'm not going to put Harbaugh down. Harbaugh's been there 18 seasons. The second longest tenured coach in the NFL behind Mike Tomlin. Now, that's why a lot of people don't understand, like how them other 6 coaches got fired right away on Black Monday. That it will never happen to Harbaugh. That will never happen to Mike Tomlin. Basically, what will happen is once they have these off-season meetings, they will decide if it's going to be that, they will decide to part ways. But Harbaugh will be fine. Harbaugh will be a top candidate for all the other coaching jobs. I'm not saying he's a scrub, but the deal with him is his message wore out. You know what I mean? You can't keep losing these close games and, you know, shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. You take their kids off the meds for the summer, got a break, but that just makes them suffer at camp. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know this much. Yeah, Lamar ain't won shit. I mean, but neither are the Ravens. But is it his fault? What are you going to do? Who are you going to get? J.J. McCarthy? No, you can't. You can't take the guy out. You can't. Yeah, and that's another thing with the Derrick Henry thing. You got the beast running back in the league, and you get away from him all the time. It's like stupid. It really is. Like that comes down to coaching. Let me tell you the problem with Harbaugh. Even his staff, he doesn't like. Who was that guy? He went to the Broncos and won the Super Bowl. He wound up being a head coach. He was our offensive coordinator with Flacco. Whatever, I forget his name. But even him, Harbaugh didn't want him there, even though he's a great offensive coordinator, because it threatens his job. Just like Mike Macdonald threatens his job. Look at Mike Macdonald now. So if they do something, they're going to bring in a fresh face. And yeah, they are Super Bowl winning coaches. But I mean, shit, Brian Billick got canned. He was a Super Bowl winning coach. But yeah, I had an incident. I'll get into that in a second. He's an elite talent, and to be honest, a lot of close games he's lost in the playoffs come down to horrendous drops. Exactly. AFC Championship games. Zay Flowers gets the ball knocked out. Against Buffalo, Mark Andrews can't catch a fucking 2-point conversion when we had the momentum. This last time, look, he got you down there. He got you down there to win the game. On 4th and 7, got you down in field goal range. And dude, he didn't even come close. He didn't even come close. See, I remember when my oldest daughter, Sirianni can win a Super Bowl, anyone can. I remember my oldest daughter, my baby's mother, tried that shit. It's like, so she said, she's 14 years old, 15 years old, whatever. Acting like a normal 14, 15-year-old. And my baby's mother threatened with that shit. So my daughter called me. And put it this way, she didn't go on medication. I said, you will not put her on no medication. Guess what happened? She graduated high school at 16, bought a house at 19. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Now, if she'd have been put on that medication, do you think she'd have been able to do that? Graduate high school a year early, buy a house at 19 years old, all that kind of shit, have a career, everything like that? I don't think so. I just don't think so. So, and that's the truth. But, there's different situations, though. I'm not saying that everybody's situation is the same as mine. You know what I mean? I just know what my situation was, And like I said, nah, that shit ain't happening, And like I said, the results worked out in my favor. I was right, like I always am. Kids who have ADHD are often very smart, and they will either overachieve working their ass off 10 times harder than anyone else, or be unable to focus and foil. Yeah, it's every situation's different. Every situation's different. I just know it at the end of the day, the situation where my daughter's mother wanted to do that and I didn't allow it to happen, it worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I knew what it was. She's 15 years old. How'd you act when you were 15? You know what I'm saying? That's another thing parents don't realize is like they beat down on their kids. Look how we were. Shit. Ain't nobody coming close to how bad I was at 15. I could tell you that. I was really bad at 15. You think shit? These people think shit's crazy. Think I'm fucking a little off now? Ain't no fucking way. Yeah, well, that's another thing I heard about, like the autism stuff. A lot of them kids are really smart. Look, it's like this. It's real easy. Say your normal IQ is 100, right? And somebody has an IQ of 30, right? Someone with an IQ of 30 is going to be in the rubber room. Understand? Because we know. I don't want to use the words. Now, say that normal IQ is 100 and somebody's is 150. That's not normal either. Even though they're fucking highly intelligent, it's still not normal. You know what I mean? So you got to always consider that. Now, obviously, you'd rather have the 150 than the 30. You'd rather be, you'd rather be over here in the rubber room and things like that. But that would be like, if you looked at the average IQ of the rubber room, it would be around, I'd say 36. You know what I mean? Seriously. Think about it. I'm right. And we know what that is. And like I said, if you got 150, like, okay, look at what they say about John Gotti. They say he was somewhere up there, like a 150 or something like that, right? Which I could believe. But what was he? He was criminally insane for real. But very smart, very intelligent. But he still wasn't normal. He's not a normal, average man. He's not a normal person. And that's the truth. So it works both ways. You can have a high fucking IQ, but you're fucking, you're not going to be normal. So I think that's a lot of things with that autistic stuff. People say this and that, but they're like certain things, they're really, 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 really intelligent, and that's the truth. But, when I'm referring to this stuff, I'm referring to and everybody knows this, the lazy parenting. Oh, your kid was cut in school and you found out, oh, they need fucking Adderall. No. They need to get popped upside their fucking head. It's that easy. Come on, take your ass to school. That easy. Not open your mouth, no. But now there is certain situations that may garner that, but it just is what it is, and like you said, then there's a lot of depression. A lot of the parents are on medication because they're depressed. They run around like zombies. So if you're running around like a fucking zombie, and a child just being normal, it's going to look like it's overactive to you, or any little thing that triggers you to be depressed. What's up, Dominic? You got a son and nephew with confirmed diagnosis of what? Of the ADHD? Like I said, maybe they just didn't diagnose it back when I was growing up. Because you can't deny it. We didn't hear about it. What happened? Jim Terry was bragging about how he has 2 OTTs and John Gotti had none. Now, John Gotti was just making fucking $20 million a year in the fucking 80s. He didn't need an OTT. He was just on Time Magazine and fucking news every day. Believe me. That don't even make sense. Shit. You're still eating. Man, listen. That's why I will say this. And I always say this. I believe John Gotti was the smartest one. Everybody said, no. Listen, he didn't give a fuck about none of that shit. His family is still eating to this day off his name. His enemies are eating off his damn name. Let's be real. Nobody would give a fuck about Sammy the Bull if it wasn't for John Gotti. Nobody give a fuck about the Gotti family if it wasn't for John Gotti. Let's think about it. Do this for a second. And I'm not putting them down. It's just the truth, what I'm going to tell. And now, not their kids. I'm not talking about Angel's kids. I'm not talking about her brother's kids. I'm not talking about that. Cut it off there. But let's do this. John Gotti, and now let's cut it all the way off down to his kids. Show me any of them who had to ever work for anything in their life. I'll wait. Everything they got is because of his name. Now, their kids now work and stuff like that. You got John's kid, he's the boxer. So I'm not putting them down. Angel's daughter works, things like that. But I'm just being honest. None of that, all that was stolen. And I'm not putting him down. I like John Gotti. You know what I'm saying? I'm a street guy. You know what I mean? But if you in the real scheme of things, everything they got was due to stealing, unaliving, strong arming, all that stuff. Not like any of them worked. Now, I'm not saying that they did that, but it came from their father. It came from his name. And, that was his game, and he was great at it. And he was, I believe he was the smartest one. I just do. Because all the way to this day, it's money. It's money. And like I said, none of them, show me one who had to work for anything. None. Like okay, even with Junior. Now, Junior, he did his thing or whatever, but when he went broke, because he went broke, the feds took him broke, and he had to get back on his feet. What did he do? Shadow of my father. And he made millions of dollars off of that and got himself out of the hole, and now he does whatever he does. And, shout out to him, good play. But that's the truth. Yeah, imagine John Gotti had 2 OTTs. Man. Did he really say that? Did he really say that? That's crazy. Yeah, Junior's got a lot of real estate, yeah. And that all comes from the Gotti name. Like, it's not a mogul or something. Now, he's good. I guess he's managed his money all good. More power to him. But that all comes from John Gotti. That's why I say, he was the smartest one. Dude, listen, a letter. Listen, them letters that Angel has from her father. Them things can go for fucking $5,000 to $10,000 a pop on eBay. $5,000 to $10,000 a pop. It wouldn't have a problem selling them. Wouldn't have a problem selling them. One of his suits, people will fucking pay you fucking $100,000 for one of his suits. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with making money off his name. But my point is, like, that. I was just talking about people with high IQs. Like how he knew the guy wasn't stupid. Yeah, Vicky was an editor for People magazine. And if her last name was fucking Vicky Johnson, she wouldn't have been. And that's just the facts. That's just the way it is. It all comes off of that. Man, listen. Yes, people will pay. People will pay. You could go look it on eBay right now. Anything, stuff of John Gotti and stuff, that shit sells for big money. One of his suits or something like that, like in the New York Post. I used to get the New York Post in prison. I remember they had, I don't know it's one of their family. They got his wine cellar or whatever. And they said that shit would go for like $10,000 a bottle or some shit. Yeah, John Gotti realized the government was just as crooked as him. And plus, that guy was, come on. That guy was from the womb to the tomb. He was that guy. You can't never take that from him. None of, like how people say, like, this one will ruin us. You can't ruin his legacy. It is what it is. Yeah, a lot of psychopaths are extremely intelligent. AG made a killing off that sandal bit. I don't know about that, man in the box. Good to see you. I don't know. Maybe. But like I said, and there's nothing wrong with them doing it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with them doing it. I mean, you got his enemies doing it. So who do you think he'd rather have do it? His family. So there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, shit. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at the grand scheme of things, that's what it is. They didn't have to work for nothing or anything. So that's what it is. And that's why I say he was the smartest one. What do you guys talk about? You guys, what's up, Patrick? Good to see you, my man. What do you guys talk about, honey? Be the Scooby-Doo van that Jim got? Or he's getting? Or what? Did he get the Scooby-Doo van? The fucking Scooby-Doo van. That's funny as shit. That's fucking hilarious. What is that supposed to be for? Are you going to hide in that Scooby-Doo van? Tired of hiding in that closet. Time to put JT on the shelf. Yeah, he's got to go. He's going on that shelf. Have I put him there before? The stalker van. No, I don't know if he's going to use it for. What is the point of it? Don't he got a car already? 99 here. Hit the like button. Somebody else come in so I break 100. Or they say I had 30 people in here. Why does he got to do the thing for 2,000? I don't know. I don't know. Why you guys zipping, honeybee? He's going to kidnap me? Man. Yeah, I mean, of course the guy needs taking a huge hit, Luca, but not his. Not Gene's. They haven't taken a hit. You can't kill that man's legacy. There's no other legacy like it in that world. There ain't. People wouldn't even talk about this shit. It wasn't for him. Let's be real. That's what people don't understand. You said JT's broke? Yeah, the Scooby-Doo van, the free candy van. What the fuck? They're weird, man. They like that. I mean, maybe they... he's known for ruining the mob, but he didn't ruin the mob. That's not true. The commission case was long before he was even made, I think. Look, they all get the same results. The results are this: you're going to get killed in the street, or you're going to die in prison. It is what it is. 104 in there. Hit that like button. He didn't ruin the mob. No, he didn't. Well, apparently, he didn't ruin his name though, baby. I mean, his name's still worth money. That's what I'm saying. It's about legacy and shit like that. Who would care? Like they could cash in off of him. His family has cashed in off of him big time. Millions upon millions of dollars already. Now, have they fucked it up? Yes. Some of them have. But Growing Up Gotti, that was like one of the first big reality shows. How come they didn't say Growing Up Agnello? That's their name. Their name's not Gotti. Why did they say Growing Up Agnello? Because nobody would have watched. You say that Pink Power Ranger has less than 80 in his chat for the free show on YouTube? Yeah, they don't never really draw on YouTube. What's up, Dwight? Good to see you. Yeah, and you know what? Man in the box, you're right. You're absolutely right. But the way that he took it to a whole nother level and had people support him, and plus the government. You know what I mean? People don't trust the government. So it worked. But in the grand scheme of things, people don't look up to that. People really don't. I mean, listen, I hate to say this, but okay, like you have people on here that, like go against, talk about all the rats and all this stuff. Yeah, and in this small community and all, that's looked down on. But truthfully, in the United States of America and in the world and stuff, people don't like criminals. It's just the truth. People don't like criminals. So they don't look down on that shit. You know what I mean? It's just different from people from different circumstances now. Circumstances I'm from are different. I look at certain things a different way. But I'm not the popular opinion in the United States of America or in the world. Definitely not. It's a small percentage. You have more respect for Harry and his Purple Heart? I don't. I don't. Harry's a track star. He's a runner. Would you say Monica? Eric is hot. Thank you. JT is installing a toilet in the back of the van for his little brother's motion sickness. That motherfucker, man. He's a Steelers fan, and damn, he got over this week. I'll give him that. He could get his laugh on this week. Hang on 1 second. Hello? Hey, what's up? Yeah. Hang on. Stay off the camera. I'm going to show people because I'm live. Hang on. Make it where I can see you. Look. That's Crystal right there. Yeah. All right. Hey, let me hit you back after I'm done. All right. Because I want to talk to you about Bobby and him too. All right. All right. Love you. Love you. Yeah, that's one of my daughters that don't talk to me. Anyway, show me this other dog. He can get his laugh on this week. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, exactly, Parasite. Most people don't have no respect for criminals and shit. Like, they want people to turn them in and things like that. You can't speak for AG, but having a murder as a family member isn't a flex. It's actually embarrassing. Well, I don't know. I think, she loves her dad, stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of bad shit. Like, listen, that mob shit is all bad shit. Like how they put down drug dealers, scumbag drug dealers and shit. At least we didn't sell child pornography. You know what I'm saying? At least we didn't sell child pornography. You know what I mean? Which they did. Now does that mean that they're pedos and stuff? No. But it's all about money for them. They're just very greedy. Very, very greedy. Like with that guy DB or whatever, the one that got whacked. He was in the what do you think they made the money on? What do you think they made the money on? Yeah, and they all sold drugs too. But what do you think they made the money on with that porn stuff? Regular porn, man and a woman and stuff like that. That's it. That doesn't bring in the money. It's the goofy shit. It's the weird shit. Now, I'm not saying they watched it or anything, but look, they knew what the fuck was going on. But they're not complaining when this guy's giving them $300,000 a month. They're not. You say, Gene? Yeah, Gene, that's what he went to prison for, selling dope. What's worse, selling dope or fucking being involved in fucking child pornography? Which one would you consider worse? I'd say the child pornography is worse. But a lot of them were involved in that shit. That was big money. It's about money. It's not about none of that shit. It's not about all this honor. It's about money. They don't have a conscience. Yeah, exactly. It's way worse. Yeah, your biggest issue is the lack of any emotion for the victim's family. Yeah, But once again, though, you got to remember something. You can't hold a person like Angel responsible for what went on with her father. Then what you can't hold my kids responsible for what I've done. You really can't. So that's another thing. You think Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl? Seahawks. Patriots are going to have a rough time with the Chargers. They are. Who's the one head coach in the NFL right now who has more rushing yards than Bo Jackson? See if anybody knows this. Yeah, Seahawks look tough. This is the first time ever that your top seeds in the playoffs, their quarterbacks have never played a playoff game. Never played a playoff game. Oh, your top two seeds in each one. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Over in the NFC, it's Sam Darnold and Caleb Williams. They've never played in the playoffs. And over in the AFC, it's Drake May and what's the guy? Bo Nix. Now, look, I think this kid Drake May, I think he's really good. I really do. I honestly do. He's a really good quarterback, man. And Vrabel's a great head coach. Listen, New England rebuilt quick. What do I hate to say this, but the Bills, I think, are going to beat Jacksonville this week. I think Houston's going to beat Pittsburgh as they would have beat us. Yep, it's Jim Harbaugh. It's Jim Harbaugh. Sam Darnold is good. Well, here's the thing, though. You're going to be in the playoffs. Who's our head coach? Mike McDonald, right? He was our defensive coordinator. He's a beast. He's going to lean on that defense and that run game, and, not trying to do nothing crazy. Parasite Slayer says, Trevor Lawrence is on fire. You like the Jags. I don't like them. Roy Cohen fans says Jags are going to blow out the Bills, and that's why I don't like them. Roy Cohen fans always wrong. But so all that mob shit, all that kind of shit, people don't understand what real criminals are. Like, I know they get on here and everybody wants to, oh, look at what this one did. Oh, look at this. None of us gave a fuck. No, criminals don't give a flying fuck. It's about money. Now, obviously, the fucking drug dealers and shit ain't involved in that other shit, that goofy shit. But, but believe me, they don't give a fuck. What do you think? We find out about all this dirty shit that was going on. Tommy Karate. You people look up to him on here. But come on here and pull up a guy's charge and he smacked a woman, which ain't good. I'm going to say that. It ain't good. But a guy beat up a woman or smacked a woman and get domestic violence. Oh, he's a scumbag. Tommy Karate chopped women into pieces. For way less. That lady, Phyllis Birdie, they chopped that lady into pieces because Tommy Karate was a simp. Because he was a simp. That is what it is. His chick that he was in love with was a dope fiend. Okay? He didn't want her to be a dope fiend, right? She went out. She got high. Hey, what's up, Cheech? She got high with the lady Phyllis Birdie, and she OD'd. That was on her. But Tommy Karate was such a simp that he turned around, he freaked out, and he shot that woman into pieces. And that's not the only woman that's ever been hurt by them people or innocent people. You think, are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy? If you think that, you're crazy. It ain't all just street people. Believe that. Case in point. That kid, Alan Kaiser. I know Sammy Bull's the devil. I believe that. He's a satanic motherfucker. But at the end of the day, you think all the rest of them didn't know about that? When he went back? You think that shit wasn't in the newspapers? A 16-year-old boy got killed? How come they cared so much? How come they didn't whack Sammy? How come they didn't turn him put him in jail? How come? Because they didn't give a fuck. None of them. They didn't give a fuck. Guess who else didn't give a fuck? The government didn't give a fuck. The government sat there just because they wanted John Gotti's ass so bad, they brushed that under the rug. That's sick. That is sick. That's an innocent kid. But like I said, people can come on here and claim and say what man, it's bullshit. Bullshit. All of them knew about that shit. You notice this? They'll badmouth Sammy about it, which they should, and he's a scumbag. But how come they don't badmouth the guy who was with him? He's just as responsible. I don't care who pulled the trigger. He's just as responsible. I'll tell you why they don't badmouth him. Because he didn't testify against nobody. He didn't tell on John Gotti. That's why. Yeah, that's what I said, Rocco. This is the first time ever. Look at the quarterbacks. They've never played in the playoffs. Sam Darnold, never played in the playoffs. Caleb Williams, never played in the playoffs. And over in the AFC, you got Denver and New England. Them two quarterbacks never played in the playoffs. Drake May and Bo Nix. They never played in the playoffs. This is the first time that's ever happened. Darnold played in the playoffs last year. Are you sure about that? Hang on. Let me look that up. Has Sam Darnold ever played in the playoffs before this year? Oh, yeah, he did. He did. Maybe it's they never won a playoff game. They never won a playoff game. But he's the only one who's played in the playoffs. But they never won a playoff game. That's what it was. They never won a playoff game. So I stand corrected on that. But the other three never even played. But yeah, he didn't win a playoff game. Yeah, well, Sam Darnold. The thing is, the thing is with them, with Sam Darnold, is it's not a lot of times, man. It's where you get drafted. I mean, who drafted him? Was it the Jets? I mean, think about that. The Jets drafted him, so he went out to Minnesota. He played well. You know what I mean? And now he's in Seattle with a good head coach and good coaching staff. That's a difference. That is a difference. Yeah, the Jets the Jets are fucking terrible. The Jets are just terrible every year. Yeah, the Jets, Cleveland, them two off the rip. Those are where that's a quarterback graveyard, Yeah, this will be the first time since 2018 that either Kansas City or Cincinnati is not in the AFC Championship game. Ain't that crazy? Who was that guy, man? He was our offensive coordinator, and he went to Denver, and they won the Super Bowl. I forget his fucking name. I'll get it right now. Who was Denver's last head coach that won the Super Bowl? Gary Kubiak. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, Gary Kubiak. He was our offensive yeah, Rocco. Yeah, he was our offensive coordinator the year before, and that was Flacco's best year. That was Joe Flacco's best year. Remember, we blew the 14-point lead to New England. We would have won the Super Bowl that year because we'd have crushed the Colts. And when we go to the Super Bowl, we win it. We'd have beat Seattle. They should have beat. Who went to the Super Bowl that year? New England did, right? And they did beat Seattle, right? Yeah, they beat Seattle. They shouldn't have beat Seattle. That was the worst call in history. Yeah, Wade Phillips, he was a good defensive coordinator. I wonder what Rex Ryan's going to do. Is Rex Ryan just going to sit on his fat ass? Rex Ryan's a hell of a defensive coordinator, and he's a player's coach. A lot of players love him. I mean, look what he did with the Jets. Took him to 2 straight AFC Championship games with fucking Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez sucked. Yeah, why wouldn't you hand it to Marshawn Lynch? That was dumb. That was dumb. That was about as dumb as you can get. No, it's not. New Orleans are crazy with that. With the black quarterback thing. These black quarterbacks are good. Plus, you got to look at how the league is now. The league is a lot of college schemes and things like that, offensive schemes. Like the what's that air raid shit from Oklahoma or whatever? Wasn't it Oklahoma? That air raid offense. Shala, calm down. Yeah, so a lot's changed. Yes, Revis Island. I remember that shit. He'd lock a motherfucker down quick. He'd lock down your top receiver quick, fast and in a hurry. Revis was the man. Revis was the man. I mean, he's not on Deion Sanders level or nothing, but, for his time frame and shit like that, Revis was the best corner in the league. Wasn't Richard Sherman and all that shit. Richard Sherman played with the Legion of Boom. That was a whole different scheme. Revis could go lock you up, put you in that island. Yeah, the air raid offense. Okay, that was Texas Tech. Yeah, that all came into the NFL, all that shit. Yeah, Buddy Ryan, that all defense. Rob Ryan, he ain't like the father and like his brother, I remember when the everybody thinks you think Revis top 3 all time? You got Deion. Rod Woodson was a beast. Yeah, you might be right. You might be right. I can't argue with that. Yeah, he definitely took away half the field. I can't argue with that. But yeah, it's all turned into too much entertainment now. But it's not real football anymore. You know, you can't even breathe on the quarterback. That's why I got so much respect for quarterbacks like the Dan Marinos, the John Elways, the Joe Montanas, and things like that. Now, I do think Brady's the GOAT, you know. But them quarterbacks had to go through hell. I mean, imagine the shit. They were getting fucking crushed. I do believe Ed Reed's the best safety ever. I do believe that. I do believe that. I'll tell you what. The 2000 Ravens defense, everybody says one of the greatest defenses ever. I don't think it's our best defense ever. Of course, we won the Super Bowl, but you got to also look at the quarterbacks and shit we went against then. Now, yeah, Dan Marino's had the best offensive year ever. 5,000 yards and 48 touchdowns back then. Hey, come on. That's better than Peyton Manning's 5,000 some yards and 55 touchdowns, if you ask me, just because of the rules and shit. Yeah, Champ was great corner. But what was I about to say? Oh, the 2006 Ravens. Now, we got put out of the playoffs playing the Colts, but the Colts didn't score. Peyton Manning didn't even score. It's just our offense sucks so bad. We had a broken down Steve McNair. We fumbled the ball, and they kicked like 5 field goals and beat us, you know, because we were fumbling our own territory, and we couldn't score. But that was organized chaos. You got to think you had Ed Reed on the back end. You had who was our corners in 2006? Was Chris McAllister was still there, I believe. Samari Rolle. Then you had Ray Lewis. Suggs was there. It was just better. And Rex Ryan was our defensive coordinator. When we won the Super Bowl, Marvin Lewis was our defensive coordinator, and Rex Ryan was the D-line coach. But I think 2006 was way better. We played against way better quarterbacks, you know, shit like that. But you know, people will say the 2000 Ravens, but that's fine. You know, 85 Bears. You got to think of that. 85 fucking Bears. That was serious. That was a bum team. They say Trent Dilfer's the worst quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I think Jim McMahon is. Honestly. Talk about somebody getting carried. Yeah. The 06 team. Yeah. I think we were 13-3. We were the number 2 seed. And the number 1 seed was San Diego Chargers with Sean Merriman, lights out Sean Merriman and them. But they lost to New England, and we lost to the Colts. And then the Colts wound up beating New England, then they wound up beating the Bears. The Bears had fucking Rex Grossman. Think about that. The Bears always had a good defense. Like, not every year, but like when they would shine, it's because of their defense. Imagine that, going to the Super Bowl with fucking Rex Grossman. You know you're going to lose. But still, that's a fucking hell of an achievement. You know? You've had me out there. I'm better than Rex Grossman all day long. Especially back then. Yeah, Haloti Ngata. Yeah, I forgot all about Haloti Ngata. Haloti Ngata was a monster. What's up, Watcher Crazy? Good to see you. It was a 4th-2 game when the Colts beat the Pats. Yeah, and the Colts were losing. The Colts were losing at the half. They were getting blown out, and they came back. That's when fucking Peyton Manning got over the hump. You know? And then they went to the Super Bowl. They kicked off in the Super Bowl. They kicked the ball to Devin Hester, and he fucking ran it back. Jetted that bitch back for a touchdown. But then, you know, they got control of him. They got control of him. But, yeah, so Peyton Manning had to get over that hump. Peyton Manning I've never been a Peyton Manning fan, but he was a great quarterback. I can't deny that. He was the smartest quarterback ever. Nobody's ever going to come close to that, you know. I think that was to his detriment, though, because he was so smart that when things would break down, he didn't improvise. You know what I mean? Because he was so right all the time. You know what I mean? He was so right all the time that when it broke down, it was something crazy. Hey, what's up, Stevie? Good to see you. But, yeah, so You got a whole new slew of quarterbacks coming in, though. Like, some of these young kids are good, man. Like, Drake May's good. Caleb Williams good. Jaden Daniels is good. Denver's more defense, you know. But their quarterback's decent. You think Peyton Manning's best regular season quarterback? That's arguable, you know. I mean, I couldn't call you crazy for saying that. I mean, Brady played in a weak division too, so Manning's division was tougher. I mean, Brady really had no competition in his division, did he? Just when Rex Ryan had the Jets, that's it. You can't have a Brady Belichick combo anymore. It violates the Rooney Rule. Yeah. Drake May is the future star of the NFL. She's a star right now. I mean, he's probably going to win the MVP. I think the only way that he doesn't is if the voters look at, yeah, that's my man, Brett Favre. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I love Brett Favre. He'd be back in the locker room, get fucking fucked up, fucking come out, sling that bitch. He didn't give a fuck. Brett Favre threw hard, boy. He'd break your fucking fingers. He would break your fucking fingers. You had to be the Legion of Boom, you think's up there? It's arguable. You can argue that. I'd say the 2000 Ravens are better. The 85 Bears are better. 2006 Ravens are better. 2008 Steelers. Oh, because then you got it back in the day when I was just born and shit. That Steel Curtain. You got to remember them. You know what I mean? You can't forget it. Now, that's not during my time, so I don't know too much about it, but, you know. But, yeah, you can put the Legion of Boom. And for the rules, and also for the rules, you got to give them a lot of credit. Because as the rules were really becoming as they are now, they were playing in that era. Now, if they played back in them eras, they might have been the best. If you really think about it, they might have been the best because they could do more. I mean, these defenses are handcuffed. They're fucking handcuffed. It's just the truth. So you do got to give a lot of credit to the Legion of Boom. 2013 was 2013. 2012 season, 2013 season, 2014, all the way up. Yeah, and they had a little run. And with the rules being what they are, yeah, you got to give them a lot of credit. I agree with you on that. Because of the rules. You know, and once again, the quarterback play. Yeah, better quarterbacks. I mean, they took down, Manning, Brady, and all them. You know, you had to deal with them motherfuckers. It ain't like fucking dealing with Heath Shoulders or whatever the fucking people's names are, the bums. Fucking was the Raiders quarterback, all that. Did I get the text? Let me see. No, I didn't get no text. Peyton Manning liked those tuggies during massages. Yeah, he probably did. So Robert Kraft. So Justin Tucker. Yeah, Buddy Ryan's defenses. All that, man. But I would say, yeah, I'd have to say the Legion of Boom, and then you got to give them a little curve because of the time that they played, because of the rule changes and shit like that. Like, you can't do. What's up, Chris? Good to see you, my man. You can't. I mean, it's different. It's different. I mean, look how them quarterbacks were getting crushed. Look how. I mean, everything nowadays is pass interference. You can't breathe on the receiver. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's just too much. You know. Back then, you got motherfuckers. You got Ronnie Lott. What's that guy's name? John Lynch. Wasn't that his name? Remember that nutcase from Denver, Bill Romanowski? He was a fucking maniac. That guy was a maniac. He beat the shit out of his teammates, all that shit. He was juiced to the gills. He's a nut. He was a nut. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to mess with that guy. Yeah, Favre. I was so mad. I was so mad when Favre didn't go to the Super Bowl. That wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault. That pick, though. I mean, Adrian Peterson fumbled a few times in that game, and then didn't it? Something happened right before that, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, come on. Favre was the man, though. I liked Favre. Brian Dawkins, yes. Yes. Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins. Dawkins was a hard hitter. Yeah, Steve Atwater. Yeah, he was a stud. That man was a fucking stud. What do they call him? Wolverine or something? Yeah, I remember Romanowski spit on that dude. Right? He was a nut, dude. He was a fucking nut. He beat the shit out of his one teammate bad, man. He got sued and everything. He broke his whole face. He was crazy. That guy wasn't nobody to play with. You know? Yeah, Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman fucking rest in peace. I mean, now that's a guy, Junior Seau, yes. Pat Tillman's a guy, man, that actually, you know, he died of friendly fire. And you know, he went to defend the, you know, fight in war and shit like that and gave up football, wound up dying by friendly fire. Rest in peace, Pat Tillman, man. He was awesome. Fucking Junior Seau, yeah. He was one, he had CTE. Wound up unaliving himself, right? Didn't he do that? But Seau was a beast. Yes, and Ronnie Lott would send you into the next week. Don't you remember that game, Ronnie Lott? Fucking they had to rip his finger off or something so he could come back in the game. Now, that's crazy. Those guys were tough as shit. Yeah, his finger was hanging off. They took his finger off, the piece of his finger off, so he could go back in the game. You know, that was serious. I mean, come on, man. These guys nowadays, they get something like that. Hell no, they ain't going back in the game. They're going to the emergency room immediately. Bob Sanders, yes, safety for the Colts. Smaller guy, hard-hitting motherfucker. He was everywhere, yes. I remember Bob Sanders. He was a monster. I do remember him. Yeah, okay, so that's what it was. He got his pinky amputated at halftime. Yeah, I remember something like that. Oh, okay, I just got your text. Let me check, make sure I got it. Why do I didn't get an alert? Thank you, Stevie, for the Cash App. I'm sorry, I didn't get an alert. I don't understand that. I don't understand why I didn't get no alert. Oh, I got my thing turned all the way down because I was. Let me turn that up because I had the YouTube watching this chat because Watcher Crazy told me I don't know how to do two screens, so Watcher Crazy told me that so I could see the YouTube chat too in case anybody does anything crazy. That's why I didn't see it. So if anybody sent me Cash App or anything like that, Venmos or PayPals, I'm sorry, I haven't said anything. I've had my thing turned down, so I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Stevie. Yeah, Watcher Crazy, you know what the hell deal's going on. What's been up with you? What's been up with you, Ripper? Where you at? Where you at, Ripper? Oh, I got a new song for the Ripper. Let me play it. It's on my community page. There it is. Here's the Ripper's new song. you want, Layla? I'll let you in a second. Come here.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes, so you can walk out with confidence. Now this is Taxes.
I have been on food stamps for 13 years, okay? I get the maximum, $4,300 a month, okay? I have 6 kids, 4 baby daddies.
We're gonna go to the grocery store. We're gonna get all the chips, all the Rice Krispies, all the fruit bars, luxury meats, the expensive soda Olipop. We're gonna get one of each flavor, okay?
Y'all, if they cut my EBT, I'm walking right out of the store for every bit of them groceries. Ain't nobody stopping me.
First of all, I have 7 baby daddies. The reason I did that was so that I don't have to work.
Three entire bags of Funyuns.
Funyuns are awesome.
Oh, Ripper, sing it. Where you at?
Look at them poses. That's the way you do it. You pay for pizza with your EBT. They ain't working. That's the way you do it. Funyuns for nothing and your chips for free. Now that ain't working. That's the way you do it. Let me tell you, them guys are bums. Maybe get a blister filling out your application. Maybe falsify your income. We got to work for practically nothing. No vacation, pay taxes on everything. We got to use a calculator. We got to pay utility fees. See the single mama with the 700 baby. Yeah, buddy, but please don't stay. That single mama's got 7 baby daddies. Them baby daddies, they are all on welfare. We got to work for practically nothing. No vacation, pay taxes on everything. We got to use a calculator. We got to pay utility fees.
John Taylor, yes. Oh my God. Let me crack that kicker in the Pro Bowl.
I should have learned to bend the rules. Look at that mama she got. Living up for Uncle Sam. Wish we could have some. And who's up there? What's that? Entitled voices. They're crying on their iPhones like a chimpanzee. No, they ain't working. That's the way you do it. Get your Funyuns for nothing. Get your chips for free.
Yeah, Sean Taylor.
We got to work for practically nothing. No vacation. Pay taxes on everything. We got to use a calculator. We got to pay utility fees. Listen here. Now, they ain't working. That's the way you do it. You pay for pizza with your EBT. They ain't working. That's the way you do it. Money is for nothing and your checks for free. Money is for nothing. Get your chips for free. Money is for nothing. Burrito chips for free. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's the Ripper's new song. What's up, Buffalo Billy? Well, you know, the Ripper, he didn't want nothing. He was very polite when he asked for his EBT. We got him here.
Food, madam. All I need is food, madam. All I need is food, madam. All I need is food, madam.
Marcello third
All I
of
need is food, madam. All I 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 need is food, madam.
Ripper, you watching?
Is food, madam.
Ripper, if you're watching these medals.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Arcello was hopping around during that song. Yeah, he was. That scumbag. Arcello. I do hope the Bills lose, though. I think they're going to win, though. I'm not going to lie. Actually, man, if you look at the playoff setup, Josh Allen has a big advantage, man. I'm be honest. He's got a big advantage with playoff experience over there in AFC. He really does. Now, I'm hoping that they don't, because that fucking Arcello, man. You know. Yeah, Pete Rose. That was Charlie Hustle, man. Pete Rose played his ass off. He just liked them little girls. That was his problem. You know, messing with little 14-year-old girls and shit. I think they're putting him in the Hall of Fame now, though, since he died. But he said that they would do that. I remember when the commissioner was Bartlett Giamatti, and he said no. Is he the one who said ban him forever? Or was the commissioner after him or before him? Which, man, for that little betting shit, he bet on his team. It's not like he bet against his team. And they don't say nothing about, the Bills don't play defense. But I still like Josh Allen, man. He's got the experience. Yeah, Pete Rose is pedo. I mean, yeah. You can pull it up. He had a thing where he was talking to while he was married, he was talking to some young girl. And they're saying that the girl was 14, and Pete Rose is claiming she was 16. He was like 30-some years old and married. You know what I mean? So 16, I guess, was legal. But I mean, I look at a 30-some-year-old who messes with us, and that was his defense. She was 16. Wasn't like she was 18, 20. His defense was she was 16, and they were saying she was 14. But you know, I look at that as a little bit weird. What's up, Doug Ross? Bills Mafia. Thanks, man. Everything's good. Yeah, he was a freak. A lot of people don't know about that, though. A lot of people don't know about it, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know about it. Let me see. I'll pull it up real quick. Did Pete Rose get in trouble for messing around with an underage girl? Yeah, in 2017, court documents related to a defamation lawsuit revealed that a woman alleged she had a sexual relationship with Pete Rose in the 1970s that began before she was 16 years old. Rose acknowledged a sexual relationship with the woman, but claimed it did not start until 1975 after she had turned 16, which was the age of consent in Ohio at the time. So he admitted it and said that she was 16. She's saying she was 14. She's saying she was 14 or 15 in 73. And he acknowledged it and claimed it did not start until 75 when she turned 16. Yeah. So that's what it was. That's the way it is. I mean, he was married. Yeah, he was like 30, 32 years old. Yeah, Priscilla was underage too. I mean, you really can't say different times. I mean, come on. If you're messing with your 30-year-old married man messing with a 14-year-old girl, and your argument is she's 16, Now, if you didn't know, now there's a big difference. Say he didn't know. Say the girl was 15, 16 years old, and she told him she was 20 or something like that. That's at least he didn't get her pregnant like the Ripper. But now she lied to him. If a girl lied or something like that, that can happen. You know what I mean? That can definitely happen. So, that's really not on the guy. But apparently he knew, Yeah, but that's been going on forever, Honey B. Like, if you go to, like, back in the day, high schools. Like, if you went to my high school, Lake Clifton, you'd see all drug dealer cars. Grown, they're in their 20s. But it would be like drug dealers and shit in their 20s. Now, some of the girls, they're probably 18 years old, truthfully, But, you see that. That's been going on forever. Yeah, so, I mean, that shit's been going on. But, I mean, his situation is not, a 21-year-old pulling up on an 18-year-old or nothing like that. He was a married man, at 30-some years old, and an athlete. Imagine an athlete did that nowadays. They'd be cooked. Men who say they didn't know is bullshit. How can you say that, though? How can you say that, though? What if it's a 16-year-old girl that looks 25? What if he met? I'll give you an example. What happened to a dude that I know. Norris Code. I'll give you a good example. Dude that I knew. He went to El Dorado's, a strip club. A dancer is up there dancing nude. Okay? Fully nude in a strip club. He buys her drinks, whatever. He takes her with him. She's hanging out at a hotel. They raid the hotel. She was a 15-year-old runaway. He got charged with statutory R word. Okay? And listen. So, do you think that he thought that she was 15 years old? You got to be at least 18 years old to work in a strip club, I would assume, especially naked. Right? But he still got in trouble for that. But yeah, I agree with you. You could tell. Well, once you're even like my age, 49 years old, I wouldn't mess with a 22-year-old, 23-year-old, a 25-year-old, 26-year-old. I wouldn't. My daughter's 26. You know what I mean? You have to be over 30. At least like 35 or something. You know what I mean? But listen, some people look at Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff like that. I mean, I understand what you're saying, Norse Code, but look, some dudes are stupid too. But like I told you about the dude that I knew. Listen, that's crazy. He went into a strip club. She's up there. Yeah, definitely got to be over 30. You call bullshit on what, Parasite Slayer? I know the guy that it happened to. That's the truth. He got locked up for that shit. That girl was a runaway. You know how many underage girls were strippers? But that's what I'm saying. Like, he did it, Who? Me? I wouldn't kick Parasite Slayer. 100% I would. 100%. My daughter's 26. Ain't no fucking way. My daughter's 26. I wouldn't know. How would I look? Think about that. How would I look? Right, that happens a lot, Doug. That happens a lot. But yeah, but I'm saying Pete Rose knew. Yeah, exactly, Darren. The girl can't be younger than my daughter. The fuck I look like. And I'm a grandfather at this point. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Sorry. You know what I mean? Plus, what do you got in common with it? They're kids. I mean, what I mean, you know, young to you is 45 agnostic. Yeah, that ain't young to me, but that's the age range. I date women, like all the women I date are close to my age. I used to date older women though. When I was a kid, I used to date like when I was like 15 and 16. I used to mess with like adult women, like but it's still I don't know if you got kids, man, but like no, it's just a bad listen, here's the deal. If there was a 50-year-old man messing with my daughter, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed. So I don't want to be doing that to somebody else's daughter either. That plays into it too. But no, I just when I was a kid, listen, when I was 15, 16, I was messing with women in their 20s and stuff like that. You know? And now, like, some of the women are younger than me, but not by much. Youngest woman I dated I was 45 and she was 32. And that's since I've been, you know, older or whatever. 45 and 32. Yeah, I mean, but it's the truth. Yeah, it's just not cool, you know. But yeah, I'm not into that stuff. Like, look, I'm not knocking anybody who is, you know what I mean. I just don't want to. I'm not that guy, you know. And then, like I said, also, like, you know, I'm not just running around sleeping with people. I don't do that. I don't just run around sleep with women. I don't. I've done that in my life, yes, when I was a kid, but I don't do that, you know. Too many diseases and stuff out there. So honestly, it's like you got to think, you know, you got to deal, you know, if you're doing that kind of stuff, you kind of want to be in some type of relationship, you know. And what do you got in common, you know? Exactly, Dave. Exactly. And so I would never want to, you know, be that guy. It's a lot to think about, man. Hey, what's up, Thornblades? Good to see you. It's a lot to think about, you know. And like I said, look, just because something's legal, don't make it like I don't live by these laws. I'll let you guys know that right now. I don't live by like laws and shit. I live by my own shit, you know. So I don't give a fuck if something's legal. Like, I'll do shit that's illegal, and I think, listen, I don't give a fuck about selling drugs. I think, fuck, man, I don't think nothing's wrong with it, to be honest with you. You know, that's, you know, and unless you're lying to people and giving them fucked up shit and they die and stuff. But, you know, you'll get smoked for fucking selling drugs. But I think it's fucking creepy for a 50-year-old to be with an 18-year-old. But that's legal. You know what I'm saying? So I don't just go by the laws, you know. You were 39, you dated a 25-year-old, even though you're not so old-proof. We still did vibe. We still remain friends, but as a couple, no. Take a 24, but I could not go below that age. Yeah, it's the thing. It's just like a lot to that shit, man. Right. I don't follow these fucking laws and all that shit. Just because something's legal don't make it okay. You know what I mean? Just because something's legal don't make it okay. Oh, yeah, definitely Gen X. She's doing great. I'm definitely enjoying that. Yeah, I love her more than anything. Like, I definitely love her more. Yeah, see, look, dog, if it's legal age, that's fine. Listen, that's just your thing. It's not mine. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not my thing. And I don't say nothing, you know. People can do what they want. But like the Pete Rose situation, I just think that was really stupid of him. Like, that was really stupid. And like his argument is she was 16. Like, bro, first off, you're married. You're not supposed to be messing with anybody else, you know? And especially back then, because marriage was like real back then. It ain't like how it is today, really. You know? Exactly, Bears. How could you? You know what I mean? I mean, but like, look, most of like when you're in prison and stuff like that, most of them women in the magazines and stuff, they're fucking like 21 years old, 19 years old, and 22 years old and shit like that. And people look at the magazines. Like, look, I'm not saying that they're not nice looking stuff like that, but at the end of the day, to actually engage with, nah, it's not my thing. Really ain't. I mean, just look at what like Harry and them, not Harry, but the Ripper and that fucking scumbag Failure. They put my 16-year-old daughter up there and we're saying all kind of weird sexual shit. Like, really? What is that? And then, Harold confirmed that my daughter was of age. Yeah, I just know my children. You know what I mean? I know how old they were. You know what I mean? But like that's like Ripper shit. Like you know, for like underage girls and all that shit. You know, that's what shit he does. That scumbag. You know, he's a big time scumbag. And then they want to call everybody else everything. You know, that's my thing with them. They want to say this about this one, this about this one, this about this one, but they're actually doing the shit and not even hiding it. You know, they're actually doing the shit. Thing I know for a fact. I know for a fact that, listen, everybody can say anything they want about whoever they want, shit like that. You say about me, you say about this one, you say whatever. One fact that I know, they put up my underage daughter and said sexual shit. That's a fact. There's no gray area there. No gray area there. I don't give a fuck how old she looks. I don't care. None of that shit. And after I tell them, then they did it again. They did it again. So what is that? That's a fact. Fucking sick. You know? Fucking sick. Got a guy in a diaper in a wheelchair saying sexual shit. Like, dude, you can't even bang a chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, first off, what are your creepy old ass gonna do? You're like a fucking a water balloon from the waist down. You can't even have, you know what I mean? So that's even more creepy. What are you doing? Fucking playing in your diaper? You know? Just because you wear a diaper don't mean that you're underage. You're still 50 years old. It's 50-some years old. It's just that you're in a diaper. You said Hot Wheels will be rolling around in Michelle's basement for his comments on Eric's daughter. Yeah. Get him in that motherfucking basement. Get him in Betty's garage or Michelle's basement. See how tough he is then. You know? But Michelle wouldn't have that guy 100 feet near her. Trust me. No woman would. No woman would. But that's what I'm saying. It's creepy. It's just like creepy shit. Like you're in a wheelchair and in a diaper. And I mean, you've already said all kind of weird shit on here. Remember talking about sending 5 guys to gang bang some girl? How creepy is that? Like, seriously. How creepy is that? Now, I don't know what the girl did or whatever, but I mean, still, that's creepy. You know what I mean? Just call her a hooker. Call her a name or something. Call her whatever. But you're going to send 5 guys to gangbang her? While you're in your diaper? You fucking scumbag. He's the biggest scumbag on here. Believe it. He's the biggest scumbag. People say the Ripper. It's not the Ripper. Ripper's scumbag. Don't get me wrong. And you know, the Ripper actually owns it. That's the difference. The Ripper's number one. Everybody say the Ripper. It's that Failure. Believe me. Behind the scenes, he's a pervert. He's a sick fuck. He sends people's kids. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man. Yeah, he could bang it and stop. But that's what I'm saying. He's the one behind the scenes that sends people pictures of their underage kids, does all that shit. That's what he does. He's the one. He's just a pervy guy, man. He's just a pervert. Stone cold pervert. Creepy pervert. Rolling around in his wheelchair. You know what I mean? Whatever. And that's the truth. He's the worst one. It ain't the Ripper. It's him. Everybody hit that like button. We only got 44 likes. But, yeah, he's a scumbag. Like, he can't even hide it. Can't even hide it. You know? Notice he's always in that sexually weird shit. Now he rolls over there to the one show. What does Satchio call him? Something mouth. Talk about Johnny's show. Yeah, I'm still around. Who's this? This you, Willie? This you, Willie? Are you upset? Are you upset over the Ripper dropping you? But you got more views than him now. You're doing good, Willie. Calm your ass down, Willie. Or that's a Ripper acting like Willie. If that's the Ripper, you already know. Oh, shit.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Wow.
Come on out, you rapist!
Look what happened. Is that you, Willie? What? Nah, I got a different number, Doug. Hang on. Yeah, Willie. So, there it is. My shit's public. I don't care. Just text me first. But I don't answer the phone half the time. But you know. But yeah. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, Willie. When you gonna come up here and drop some dirt on the Ripper? He fell off after he fired you. And I see you don't like him. When are you going to come up here and do an interview with some dirt? I know you got a lot of it, Willie. Especially the food stamp thing, Willie. Remember this? You saved him that day. Look, remember this? You had to call him, tell him he was lying.
Food, madam. All I need is food, madam.
Remember that?
All I need is food, madam. 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 All I need is food, madam.
Remember that day, Willie, when you saved him? He ain't got no Ripper to snuggle with anymore. He's over there with Deadly. He's technically Team Muscle. That's Team Muscle. Wasn't that Muscle's host or something? Well, I don't know why Harry got stopped doing shit with fucking Mike Slick. That was stupid. He ran to the Ripper. What a dummy. As always, remember, Willie, you can start your shit and try to take over, but Team Muscle's going to get you. They're still here.
Now, through all of this, who I can fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle, have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
Enemies. After all the fucking good I've done.
Is this guy really
through all of this? Who I can fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle, have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
Enemies. After all the fucking good I've done.
Hey, one more time with the flag.
Through all of this, who I can fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle. Have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
Enemy.
He said the T will get. He said, yeah, Garth. He said the T's gonna get stronger. What the fuck's he putting in that motherfucking T? Fucking Jägermeister or something? What's up, Garth? Party on. Yeah, that guy. That's nuts, though. Like really think. Listen to that. Like, what do you think you're at? This is fucking YouTube. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck, especially what you say. The number keeps getting smaller. Yes, it does. Don't despair. I'm still here. I'm still here. Yes, you are. Jesus Christ. Oh, these people, they're crazy, man. They're really crazy. Harry. You're going to do that show with me. You better not do nothing stupid, Harry, because I got some shit to drop on you if you do. But, I don't care if you do a show with me, Harry. But, just keep it above the belt. I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to. But anyway, what's up, Dave? And anyway, I found a new Harry video. It just popped up on my thing. I guess because I watched that MobTube thing, novella. There's an actual whole Harry thing that has it all in it. It's on. You guys want to watch it? It's funny though. It has some of that mixed in stuff too. Hang on. It's Kane. It's that guy Kane Shade. It just popped up. It's a whole Harry thing. I don't know if I can pull it up though. Damn it. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Because that's not it. It was on my phone. It was a whole one, too. I could find it because I definitely subscribed to it. There it is. All right. I think I can find it now. Some of this shit's funny. They get mad over it though. Like why the fuck do you get mad? It's just yourself talking dumb shit. Like who cares? It's good. Where's that damn app thing? I can't ever find it on the computer. Oh, there it is. I know I messed up. That's why I messed up. Because you got to put on there. Where is it at? They got so much shit on here. God damn, man. He's got so many videos. I don't know if I can find it. Hang on. There it is. I get it back because I was watching it. Yeah, I guess it's a whole movie. I'll be right back. I gotta take a piss real quick. And then, oh, never mind. I hit the wrong thing. Hang on. I got share screen. Give me 1 second. I don't want to miss this. All right, guys, here we go.
Like I told Medic when we talked, I said, who am I going to fucking dishonor my goddamn service? A bunch of junkies who never did shit for this country but fucking take from it and use fucking drugs? Fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck them junkie cocksuckers. Don't dishonor your fucking service by giving into a junkie. You know, well, if they don't believe who you are in the mainstream of your life, what does it matter? You know,
the one thing that they can't grasp, that's a simple concept. At the end of the night, when you turn the phone off, that fucking world disappears. It ceases to exist. But these people, that they live for this, man.
I'm not scared of your docs. If it happens, it'll happen. And then you'll find out exactly who you're really dealing with.
First, and those other bastards can tell you that, but this is fight fire with fire. I'm going to tell you this much right now, all this moral high ground bullshit, you can pound that in your teeth now. Because it's over. There is no moral high ground. The high ground is now every man has to do what every man has to do. And if your family's being bashed and attacked and they're trying to look up where you're coming, where you're at and all this, you got to be a little bit smarter than that. And you got to be willing to, if someone shoots at you and you don't fire back, pretty soon you're going to end up dead.
It's about everyday guys that he doesn't even take the money. He doesn't care about the money.
As a matter of fact, they monetized us about 3 weeks ago on the channel that we're on now. And I told Deadly to take the monetization off, that I do not want to do the work that we do and accept money.
You want to write what you want.
You know, it's kind of like a pro bono lawyer, and I do it because I think it's important for the public to get the information. I don't want to make money off it, or I don't take any donations. I just don't. You know.
Yeah, there's no cash apps being drawn. Like, there's nothing. Like,
we don't have a cash app for the show.
Yeah.
And it's got, well, pretty close to 2,000 viewers now, and we got it was set up to be monetized, I guess, at one point, because it was a different channel that Deadly was working off of on video games, and then we decided to make it the channel that we're working on now, and we demonetized it when we got monetized.
Yeah, that's why he plays music and stuff, because he doesn't get paid. He does this because, it's the right thing to do.
The artists might get money off that music that we play, but we do not get anything, not a dime. That's why I can play all the music that I want to.
That's why I can play you talking
I
shit.
like that part of it. I'd rather have the music than the money. You know what I mean? That's why I get to, introduce people to some metal and, some music that I like. And we all can, Besides that, I'm independently rich and I don't need the fucking money.
Well, then why don't you turn
This
around
is what it is.
and pay Tom back?
This is a charity work for me as far as I'm concerned. I used to not be as good a man as I was now. I did 12 years for an armed robbery. And I belong to a outlaw motorcycle club. And I was not always the man that I am now. And say this as penance for my sins. Right the wrongs that I might have committed.
So you come on and lie?
Did I say something that somebody should feel sorry for me? What did I do? Oh, you're talking about my family. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, that's, that's what we sign up for. If I just got to look at it that way. If I give my life for my country, I could have not served a better cause in life. That's what we sign up for. We never cry about it. We just move on. What I've got to say, and I'm going to fucking leave it alone and drop it forever. Everyone who's here and everyone who knows me knows how fucking loyal I have been to certain parties around here. Okay? Now, if they choose to fucking platform my fucking enemies who tried to fucking hurt me and my family and my docs, with my docs, then all I've got to say is, you know who was fucking loyal. I did nothing. I did nothing wrong. But tell the fucking truth and expose another scumbag.
You really tell the truth, Harry.
Okay, and for that, I'm done. That's it. I got other things to do. I got women that really appreciate my help that around here that are fucking abused. So that's that. They wanted to buy a van and just travel the country and do YouTube. And they're doing it and making money. So, yeah. And this is kind of the concept that I gave him. I tried to put the guy on the right path. I mean, if you're a Christian, okay, and you truly do love people, at the end of the day, you don't want to hurt anybody. You want to try and help them a little bit. That's what I did with pizza and showed them a little bit of friendship, a little bit of brotherhood, similar situation. I was in prison, and they had me working the chow line. Now, there's guards on each side of the chow line, and they're watching what you put on people's plates. And if you got a friend that comes through the line and you put extra on there or whatever, you'll get your ass jumped. You possibly could end up cleaning bathrooms instead of working on the chow line. And the chow line was a privilege because after they were done, if there was any food that was left over, they'd let you put it, wrap it up, and take it back with you or whatever. So it was, and you could give people extra food in your barracks. It was a good privilege to have. And I didn't want to lose this privilege. And this guy walks up to the fucking through the chow line, and he says, give me another piece of meat. And I said, I can't, bro. They're watching. And he's like, I didn't fucking ask, motherfucker. I told you. Give me another piece of meat. And I said, you don't tell me fuck off, get fucked. And he started running his mouth. When you come back to the barracks, when you come back to the barracks, that's what we used to call him. He said, when you come back to the barracks, he said, yeah, me and the boys are going to jump you, motherfucker. Well, I knew he was serious, okay? He meant it, because he's a bitch, and it was going to take more than one. So I'm thinking to myself, well, we'll just settle this right fucking here. Big mistake, because I went around the fucking chow line, I got in this motherfucker's face, and I didn't even fucking hit him. The guard, I pulled my arm back, and the guard behind me hooked my arm. You know what I mean? So I couldn't punch him. Yeah, he hooks my arm, grabs me, pulls me out of there, and the whole fucking chow hall erupts. Okay? And it fucking starts fucking going off. Well, they take me down, put me in the fucking hole for the night. And I end up having to I get fucking tickets for this shit, bro. And they gave me an inciting a fucking riot in the chow hall within the and I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? This ain't no big deal. Like, they can give you 5 more years for that shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. So they take me down to kangaroo court. And I have to fucking explain to the fucking judge, they got the little kangaroo court set up in the prison so that if people get violations or whatever, you have to go because you can get new charges in the
Let me explain that real quick. when they want to charge you with something in the joint, because it's happened to me twice, they don't take you down to kangaroo court. They don't even give you your ticket. They send it out first, and then they see what the state's attorney's going to do if they want to pick up the charges. Once they decline the charges, because they declined the charges on me, like the 224, like Gina Borello always brags about, like, I had a 224. That's just a fist fight. That's nothing. But they do send that out, but they always deny it. And my other one was when I smashed the breathalyzer and all that shit. So they didn't pick it up. But they can't give you a ticket until that's all settled outside in court. So all that shit he's saying right now is bullshit.
Joint, you know, and they bring me down, and I talked to the judge that they had brought in and everything, and I told her, I says, hey, I was stuck in the middle. I said, I'd be in trouble for giving the guy more if I gave it to him. I said, and then he's threatening me that when I get back to the barracks, I'm going to get jumped. I said, I had no choice but to handle my business right there. And she gave me like 6 days off my good time for it. You know, still I lost 6 days of my life just for not, you know what I mean, losing my temper. But was that Chicago muscle involved? The answer will most likely be yes. The fucking place is out of control.
Yes, it is.
The FBI is watching. And this bullshit.
He's drunk. I like him when he's drunk.
It's time to fucking put an end to it.
He can't.
And I think I can be most effective by taking getting off here. You would be fucking shocked. When I was a kid, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, I was asked to hook up. They wanted me because I was a big fucking guy. I could fight. They knew it. I was fucking mean. But I was more, I at the time, my father was an angel. I hadn't fucking gotten, I was basically brought up around that. And they were wanting me to join the Disciples. There was a set called the White Gangster Disciples that was starting out in the suburbs of Chicago. And they were wanting me to run it. And I told them, I says, no. I says, I can't. And they said, well, they at least wanted me to ride out with them when they would fight. So they wanted to fucking tell everybody that they violated me and brought me in anyway. My father was a POW. He was tortured for 19 months in a prison camp. So I've told the story. It's but again, that's what we signed up for. We know things can get crazy over there, but somebody's got to do it. And you got to remember something, just like motorcycle clubs. Do you know that 1% of the population actually serves?
And you weren't 1% of either population.
Crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. But 1% of the population serves. And my great-grandfather was a Marine. My grandfather was a Marine. My father was a Marine. My brother was a Marine. I was a Marine.
What? I at least did boot camp in prison when I was a kid.
And I'll leave it at that because I might have somebody still active. And it was fucking amazing, dude. We're fucking goddamn shit blowed all over the place. Walruses running up the road, fucking goddamn seals fucking in the backyard bathtubs or the fucking pools. And Jesus, dude. And my wife showed me one from the other day, and the motherfucking shark is going down the goddamn street. And we got a dumbass that came in with a fake Chicago. You do realize that even fucking your IP can be grabbed through your fake ass fucking VPN, right? You do understand it, right? Just because you have a VPN on does not mean the cops can't fucking get through that VPN. Can I ask you a question? Why would somebody tell a woman, I have your picture and I have your IP? You know what I mean?
Well, that was the first for me, actually. I didn't know how to react to that. It was weird. I don't know what he meant by it. Is it a threat?
That was a threat.
Right, so that means I shouldn't be coming here.
Well, no, because we don't care about your IP or your picture. You can come here anytime. You're no danger from us at all. I don't want to, hurt anybody in real life or anything. Well, no, it would have been the 80s, because in 86, I would have been 16.
Okay.
Okay, so, and it would have been, I would have been like 15.
15.
Yeah. I would have been like 15 years old.
I think I got a little bit of knowledge about what's going on there? Or fucking goddamn Charlie Salton fucking while you're fucking at it trying to fucking really hammer down the point. He's going to kill someone. Oh, good Lord. Okay, well, I think that everybody has enough proof now to know that Johnny Mac, and the reason he says all the horrible things about Chicago Muscle is because Chicago Muscle exposed you, motherfucker.
They have a moderator here that they've convinced over there that I'm a racist. And I actually have, well, he's not a child anymore. I raised a black, he's a Marine. I raised a black Marine, the biggest black Marine you ever seen in your fucking life. Now, you talk about a monster, okay? And or a wetback. Wetback's not a fucking racist.
Really?
Thing, is it? I mean, when they fucking swam over here from Cuba, didn't they get a wetback? I don't know about you guys, but when I go swimming, I get a wetback. You'd see me in the fucking street and I'd fuck you in your ass.
Harry.
Fucking bitch. Okay, I will not do it. I don't. If you ask me a question, I don't really want to talk about people behind their back. So all the PMs and shit, just cancel that shit. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what I've got to say, and I'm gonna fucking leave it alone and drop it forever. Everyone who's here and everyone who knows me knows how fucking loyal I have been to certain parties.
No, you're not, Harry, and I know.
Did find out through all of this who I could fucking trust. The number keeps getting smaller, but the team will continue to get stronger. Never forget that. Team Muscle, have faith. Don't despair. I'm still here.
Enemies. After all the fucking...
Yo, Harry's crazy, man. Like, I don't know how, like, honestly, like, I don't even think that it's like, it's just funny, like, to me. Like, I don't even see how he even gets mad, honestly. Like, yo, you said all this shit. Like, come on. Like, somebody gonna believe them offers. But, I mean, it's entertainment, I guess. You want to say it? A lot of Team Muscle undercover fans. I don't know. I don't think there is a Team Muscle. They got to be undercover, Carlos. Oh my God. It's just funny, man. It's really hilarious to me. Like, it's fucking hilarious. Like, all that shit. Yeah, his own shit he's saying. You know. And this shit's funny. This shit's fucking entertaining. He's got a fucking imagination, I'll tell you that. He's got one hell of an imagination. You know, Harry's got one hell of an imagination. That shit's just hilarious. That shit is just fucking hilarious. Yeah, so, you know. Team Muscle will win the Kool-Aid contest. It's fucking nuts, man. It's fucking nuts. You see what Grumpy did today? He did something on the Ripper. Can't fucking fuck with Harry and not fuck with the Ripper. You know what I'm saying? It's like kind of one and the same. Right there. First thing popped up. Grumpy did this on the Ripper today. Since we're all in our patriotic spirit. Here we go. Hang on, I gotta take it to the beginning.
C'est la vie. Bye bye, Ligo. C'est la vie. Bye bye, Ligo. Go back to your country and I say bye bye, Ligo. Leave us be. Voices got the solution.
That's Grumpy Italian. He does it. All kinds of shit.
Smack the fucking like button.
That's
This is fucking entertainment.
Hit that like.
It's against the law. Popo! Popo!
Ice, ice, baby. Ice, ice, baby. Listen. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby.
You need to be down. I would be trying to swim through that shit for your life. What's up, bro? Hey, Leo. Robbie Chow.
Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby. Vanilla. Ice, ice, baby.
Watch Grumpy Italian. That's his thing right there. Subscribe to it. I think Danielle dropped the link also, didn't you, Danielle? If yeah, these people are crazy, man. Harry. Yeah, they're nuts. They get mad over the shit, the same shit that they do. The same shit that they do. You're talking, I mean, who the fuck? That'd be like me coming on here and saying I was George Bush's son or something. You know what I mean? Like, or I was a combat veteran and Army Ranger, Rambo. You know, like, yo, motherfucker, look at me and be like, yeah, no, the fuck you weren't. You know what I'm saying? No, the fuck, I don't give a fuck what I put on that. I can put this whole fucking flag on an avatar with my face on it, and ain't no fucking body ever gonna believe some stupid shit like that. And then you get mad. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks. Then you get mad. You fucking nuts. How the hell can you get mad? Yeah, I see. Let's try to go at you, Carlos. Carlos, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what she said. She said Carlos didn't know what he was talking about. And he definitely did. You didn't know what Carlos was talking about. You sat up there with that shit. Fuck you, Carlos. You want to see our love child? Oh yeah, I've seen saltwater crocodiles at that thing down south of the border where they said that I was following people in the bathroom. Yeah, them motherfuckers, they'll kill you quick. Yeah, definitely, dog. That motherfuckers aren't no joke. They aren't no joke. I've been on the airboat ride down the Everglades where just the alligators and stuff were there, but and them crocodiles are something different. Yeah, sloth. Let me tell you something. There won't be this in the treehouse. Man, shut up. Yeah, she's trying to go with you, Carly. Like, what the fuck? She told people, "Don't you play my content?" I don't gotta play your content. I can talk just like it. Oh God! Imagine her on the show like this one. Guy murdered like this. Her. Fucking Jesus God. Oh my God. Man. It's like nails on a fucking chalkboard. I could listen to fucking Leanne before I could listen to her. And Leanne, we know Leanne's Panel Poison. What's up, the coach? Good to see you. We know Leanne's Panel Poison. But I like Leanne. Jughead's cool. You know, but that Raw, ooh boy. Sloth, whatever you want to call her. She gets mad. She's mean. She's really mean, honestly. She comes on, she's got that little avatar of her sitting with the fucking hands on her hips. She's, Carlos, fuck you. I was like, holy shit. Oh my God. I don't care what Eric Foss says. Fuck Eric Foss. Never liked him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they said, yeah. Didn't you say she said something about the guy, Maduro, is going to get deported? Asshole. Don't you realize we went over and got him and brought him here? He ain't getting deported. He's getting life in prison. Come on. I can't believe she really said that. Did she definitely say that? Come on, man. Ain't no way she was that dumb. No way she was that dumb. Yeah, I know. She can do it. I don't care if she does a show about me. I don't mind that. I don't mind it. I give her a little bit of content to do. You know what I mean? That's all. What's up now, the Fat Bald Italian? Good to see you. Rolf acts all tough next angel. Oh, no. Rolf wants to be the next angel. But her last name's not Gotti. She wants to be the next angel. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. You know. Because if Angel's done, like, with all the drama and stuff, which I think she might be, then, you know, there's got to be another landing spot. And that's the only place that it could be. That's what she wants. She's always wanted that shit. Neck smells worse than Archella's rotting stuff. Yeah, it's crazy, man. People are nuts. Yeah, she got mad at Carlos. I don't even know what you didn't say nothing bad, Carlos, from what I heard. All I heard you say was like, they thought somebody was triggered and you guys were just laughing. Then she's like, I got software that I just run it through and everybody, I can see how many times a day. Like, you really got software so you can see. Yeah, why didn't they just deport Maduro? Like, yeah. No, they just sent fucking the whole goddamn military to bomb where he was at and shit to go get him. Yeah, now, don't worry. In 3 weeks, we're sending him back. Tell him, don't you do it again. Shame on you. Shame on you, Maduro. Fucking stupid, man. That's the craziest shit, man. All right, I won't do the raw sounds no more. That's just funny. Especially when she gets upset. When she gets upset and does that fake cry. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I don't even think Carlos really said nothing. I'm not sure. When's Michael Saccio coming back on? He took a 2-day break. He did his 2-day break. Saccio. Don't let me find out you're slowing down. Saccio comes on the other night. This motherfucker starts complaining about doing the show and shit. Has the best show he's ever fucking had. Now you can't stop, Saccio. You can't stop because all of us are going to be mad. We're all going to be mad. You can't stop. Ain't nobody in here. Ain't nobody in here wants you to stop. You know what I mean? You can't do what you did. You can't sit here, do that shit, do these shows that are fucking so entertaining. We're all laughing, and then you're going to stop? Come on, man. I understand take a couple-day break and stuff like that, but come on, you can't stop. Don't you do that. You know? I think he changed his mind by the end of the show. You said the 6 people in panel have a total combined IQ of 60. Yeah, I said today 30. You know? Oh, I was talking about the rubber room, but yeah, I agree with that. What's wrong with that? Yeah, he's like a freight train. He can't stop. He better not. That's going to piss everybody off, man, if you stop. He'll come out there, yeah, I don't care, motherfucker. But he'll do a 5-hour show, 6-hour show, and everybody be laughing. So it'll all work itself out in the end. He's got a good fucking show. You can't knock that. The guy has a good fucking show, man. Funny, fucking energetic, lasts for hours, brings people on panel, fucking kind of fucking, he sets them up for shit too. He'll throw his little instigating shit in. He's a good entertainer, man. There's nobody can deny that. Nobody can fucking deny that. Motherfuckers look forward to his show, straight up. You know. All right, guys, I'm about to wrap up. Thank you to everybody who donated with Cash Apps, with PayPals, Venmos, and the Super Chats, Super Stickers. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Angel, if you really are sick or whatever, like they said, man, I hope you get well. You know what I mean? And I hope the little baby's better. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.